Welcome to the DJ and Heel Show, episode 7. Winter is here, seeing that most of us are buried in a ton of snow. I'm just waiting for my co host DJ to show up, and then we'll be on with the show. We have a review of Saturday. Oh, there he is. DJ's here. Give me 1 second. Let's get him as a co host, and then we're going to get started. Hopefully, the co host invite works properly. And we're about to.
I'm here on time. I wasn't expecting you to start it early.
It was literally a minute.
It was still early. It was before 5 o'clock. I wasn't ready.
Well,
I had to finish taking my piss.
TMI, TMI.
I'm like Sheldon. I time everything out. Everything has its own fucking scheduled time for everything to happen. Okay.
If you, hey, you know what? You do you. That's all I'm gonna say.
Life of young Sheldon. But no, good. Start the day off on good news. DJ quit smoking, so I'm no longer, or at least vaping. So let's see how long it takes for people to irritate me and piss me off on Twitter.
I'm gonna guess pretty simple. Especially,
Yeah, I mean,
especially the troglodytes that have been acting up lately.
let's talk about the real big news that happened. You know, Nick LaPiccolo left Paradise,
Yeah, yeah, and we've learned that half of the IWC does not know how to read
or illiterate as fuck.
because let's just call it what it is. You don't leave a job after 17 years and take all your clients with you if you've been shit canned. I'm sorry, that's just plain reality of the situation. When
That was fucking hilarious though, just to see
yeah,
people crash up. Nick, it literally says Nick LaPiccolo leaves Paradise. You got fired! How dare you! You are a moron! You got fired on your day off.
and
But
I don't understand the hatred. Like I don't get it. I mean, I get they hate people who are like anti AEW and all that shit, but the amount of hatred for this guy is like next level, and he's literally trolling everyone intentionally.
it's kind of like so. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny because he exposes like what the Hollywood bubble thinks of like wrestling and AEW, and they think of him as the little brother, and that kind of gets on. Listen, the main two people. This is only still going on because he still is obviously getting to Dave and Tony. But
I, like I said,
I thought it would be funny to throw out that little tidbit before we get to the actual wrestling.
I just
The major news in the
yeah,
IWC.
like I said, I just don't get why one man's opinion gets everyone so riled up.
It's the same way when me and you, whenever we say shit, people always lose their fucking mind. It happens that way.
Oh, I have another big announcement. AEW's Shield has created another form. He went to a
What was that?
AEW's Shield. He was a force field, and now he's a firewall apparently.
This motherfucker's transforming more than Frieza.
Like a fucking guy is a fucking clown show. Listen to this. Defend and troll AEW from WWE stands via receipts. Trolling and parody is the game. AEW is not perfect. Chose a ridiculous name. Was Shield and Force Field.
Yo, him and boys have like a fucking group chat. They sit and fucking plotting.
And this dumb fuck rips on me for having the heel in my name. I would rather be a heel than have a wrestling company in my name. So,
The jet has landed.
oh, thank
You know
God.
what? Speaking about your name, when you're thinking about your name and you want to get it on, you go to Blue Tube, use promo code TheJet. Look,
All caps, no spaces.
I'm telling you, I'm getting smoother with the transitions.
And if you want to get smoother with the transition, go to Bluetooth.com and use my promo code DeeJay, all caps, no spaces, if you want to be smoother with the transitions. There you go.
And speaking of smooth, let's get another one out the way. Manscaped. If you want a smooth set of balls, go to Manscaped. Use the promo code DeeJay.
Yeah. Yes. I'm feeling that.
You can have Blue Chew. I'll have Manscaped. How about that?
No, y'all still I'm still in y'all. See, y'all still Blue Chew, still in fucking Manscaped.
I wanna bring up one more laughing thing about the IWC, and then we'll move on to the actual show. What did you think about that screenshot I sent you today?
I gotta check now. I gotta remember what screenshot.
The one you were laughing at. So there's this one guy who always shows up in my replies as probable spam, and he's in like almost all my replies, and I don't respond to him because I don't even get his notifications most of the time. So I wrote a tweet yesterday about how I don't want to give attention to certain people because I know it's what they're after. But this guy is nearly 60, and he's like in 90% of my tweets and replies. And it's like, at what point do you just give up? Because I'm not responding to you. I'm not giving you the attention you want. And then he goes ahead and he does exactly what I said he does. It's like, come on, guys. Let's get some clues here. But I digress. Saturday night's main event was last night.
Yep. I missed one match because I was working at my business. I didn't get to see it, but I pretty much watched the event.
It was something. Listen, it's not how I would have done it, but I'm not mad at it. Again, my issue with the Sammy thing pulling the trigger is why are we gonna sit here and try to have a riot unless they're putting the belt on Sammy and fucking Saudi?
They're not.
That's my prediction. Come on, they're gonna give Sami Zayn the WWE.
No, I'm thinking it too because they're not gonna make the motherfucker lose in Saudi.
Yeah, they are. He's losing. Drew's going into Mania as champion.
I don't know.
Or here's what they could do: Sami Zayn wins the title, and then Drew wins it back the very next night.
I don't know.
Why?
The Elimination Chamber, the chamber. Sami Zayn wins the title, Fatal 4-Way, Cody, Fatu, and Drew. Drew wins it back.
Or just defend it in the chamber.
Good idea. Good idea.
And then figure out something else for setting up your main title feud for Punk and Mania. You don't need a fucking match gimmick to find challengers for Mania.
Defend the belt in the chamber like we did back in the day.
Yeah, no,
We did back in the day. Speaking of back in the day, back in the day, something very important happened that only certain people will understand. So Jesus died 3 days. 3 days later, he fucking rose back from the heavens, and he came back and he forgave us all our sins. So back in the day, I understand that Jesus, he rose from the dead for all of us and for all of our sins. So if you can appreciate him, I likely appreciate you. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, let's get into Saturday night's main event. DeeJay, we start off with, I guess, a little bit of a bait and switch with Cody and Jacob. They never actually had the match. It became a 15-minute brawl all over the arena. I guess they did that to protect both guys, so someone didn't have to lose.
They didn't want Cody losing.
Or Jacob, for that matter.
Cody, oh Cody.
well, I missed like the first 5 minutes, and so I kind of got in right when they started brawling in the crowd and stuff. I thought the funniest part was Cody threw a plastic fucking garbage can at Jacob's head. This motherfucker is no sold super kicks, DDTs, everything else. This motherfucker takes a plastic garbage can to the head, sells it like that.
You know what? That's everyone, and I find that to be like one of the funniest sells. It's like
there was one thing.
I know, but just as a Samoan, keep continuity. Don't go down on the plastic garbage can.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was the one thing that pissed me off. Jacob Fatu did the best spot, but it got fucked up because Cody botched it. When Cody was fighting with the security guards, Fatu jumped on the second rope, jumped on the top, then did a fucking backflip into the crowd. Fucking misses Cody, then Cody just flops himself on the floor. Like, bruh, you didn't even get hit. Don't fucking fuck up the good
well,
spot.
that wasn't Cody doing the botch. That was Jacob not hitting the correct.
Not hitting Cody.
So I mean, it was a fuck up all around. I hate those spots where they all stand around and wait for a guy to jump on them anyway.
But like when Jacob did the backflip on the top rope, not just standing, no, he jumped fucking 3 times to do that, and then Cody just flopped when it didn't touch him. I'm sorry, if I was Cody, I wouldn't have done the flop. I don't care if it goes against the script. I will only go down if I get touched. I'm not saying it because I hate Cody. I'm saying it because those fucking spots are easily botched.
Well, let me ask you,
All right, Dylan, listen.
So do you guys feel like we're getting a 3-way for the world title at WrestleMania between Drew, Cody, and Jacob Fatu? Because knowing the brawl that we got, it looks like we're headed in that direction. Don't you guys think?
Well,
and if you want to have a 3-way, you go to Boost.com. But no, I don't think so.
I was about to actually ask that before Jet pretended he was the co-host and called you to talk. Anyway,
I don't pretend. I am here.
Nah. You need to learn your role and shut your motherfucking mouth and let DeeJay do his job. Damn it! How dare you?
You're not even here to do your job, bitch. Don't calm it down. You're not even here.
Right, I'm just trying to be funny here, but now it's taking shit seriously. I mean, if they do the 3-way, it's a different kind of match. I'm tired of the fucking multi-man 3-way matches at Mania for your top feud, just because you ain't got shit for other people, so we got to interject everyone into it. Beyonce, Io, Rhea, CM Punk, Roman, and Seth, like, fucking year beforehand, you had Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus. Like, I'm tired of these constant fucking 3-ways at Mania. Let's just have some singles matches, some tag matches, some gimmick matches, and maybe one 3-way.
well, I don't think it's going to actually be at Mania because I don't see them going 3 months with this 3-way feud. I think we're going to get it on a SmackDown. But they're definitely setting up for like a 3-way feud. But and then we had the women's tag match. Rio and Ia successfully defending their titles against Liv and Roxanne. We saw
that match was fucking brutal. I said that there, and I'm not saying brutal in a good way. I'm saying brutal in a bad way. I think it was extremely overbooked. Some of the false finishes were great. Like, they had great false finishes. So great that they should have been actual finishes. Like, I don't understand why in modern wrestling, when people will have the crowd and will have a good finish, but then we'll decide to keep going 10 more fucking minutes and do like 15 more false finishes, and then by the time they're done, it's like about time, instead of woohoo, the people who we wanted to win won, which is why you saw kind of a delay pop when Maria fucking got the pin. So I think most of the tag work was great, but I thought the match was extremely overbooked. Fucking Raquel with the interference, Stephanie coming out, then they just fight off.
I like that spot with Raquel though, because you didn't see her, and then all of a sudden she drops.
No, the Raquel interference spot was good though. Like, but I'm saying Stephanie coming out, having them fight off, and then basically just going back and forth with more false finishes. Like, the crowd was up when Raquel came in. They were up even more when Stephanie comes in. That's when you go the fuck home. that's just me being an observer. I've never taken a bump, so I can't say much according to Moose.
And you've never been in the business, so you can't say anything.
According to Moose.
Michael, what's up?
Okay. Yeah, so I wanted to just put my comment in on the match. There was 2 moments in the match where I was laughing, but not in the good way. When I think it was Roxanne pinning Io to win the belt, the ref was doing his count. Rhea.
Sorry, that's my bad.
Okay. Rhea was going in, to stop the pin, but Rhea was too late, and so when the ref was about to count 3, he fucking stopped, and I'm like, what ref? Why'd you stop the count? It's like Rhea was too late. That was one of the worst botches. And then I'm not trying to hate on Roxanne, but I'm sorry, but Bret Hart has a point when wrestlers don't know how to throw punches. Because I'm looking at this, I'm like, bruh, you're fucking making AEW's gymnastics look more real.
Yeah, Roxanne's punch, the screaming, going and just wailing her fucking arms nowhere in the area of anyone was probably one of the worst things of the night. I will agree.
Listen, Brandon and DeeJay, I'm just going to say this after watching that match. Just go back to stripping each other to bra and panties. Just go back to pole matches, please.
No.
That will draw more ratings.
That'll be degrading women, and you don't want to fucking degrade women.
I don't know, like most of them that were in NXT have OnlyFans now. So is it really degrading?
Mad. Never.
Yeah,
All right, but that's
you're a robot,
I didn't
Jet.
like Roxanne. What were you going to say, Brandon?
I was saying, Jet, you're a robot. You might have to jump out and come back in.
Yeah, you might have to come back. But that was my 2 cents on it, honestly. I didn't like Roxanne doing those punches. I'm like, motherfucker, Bret Hart is fucking screaming and jumping like Vince McMahon when something fucked up watching this.
I think honestly, and I think more with the women, but I see it with the guys too, in WWE specifically. But I think they're like afraid to make contact.
Yeah,
They windmill their arms for the punches, and they're not really punching. And we've seen it. I saw it on Monday also with Maxine. And even like back in November, there's that one shot when I think Charlotte was stepping on Becky's head, and she was barely like putting any pressure. And it's like, it's like, why are we afraid to make contact? You're professional wrestlers.
Yeah, it's like, I know like you're not trying to hurt the opponent, but the magic of it is that entertaining. And Bret Hart made but it was not real.
Yeah, like back to my initial point though, it was overbooked. I think the wrong team won. I think Liv should have got the belt back. The belt she never really lost. Give the Judgment Day something if we're not gonna fucking kill this division off. Because Rhea and Io's getting kind of annoying, and I already seen a lot of people getting pissed last night that Rhea. They're like, oh shit, Rhea's just beating everyone again now. But so like, I would have just got the belts off of Rhea, Io, lead some dissension so they could do their Mania match, get that big moment.
Yeah, that would be excellent. But
and then just.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then Liv and Roxanne could do something till Mania, and then you could eventually lead to their turn or whatever on whoever the fuck they're turning on at Mania. Either Finn, Dom, or each other.
Well, Finn's pretty much a babyface at this point. With the way he's been doing his promos, he's not really a heel anymore.
Let's see what happens outside of Ireland.
Yep, let's see.
But if Liv's winning the Rumble, it makes sense not to put the tag titles on her. So,
And another reason is that it doesn't make sense because Kiana and Julia are now the number one contenders. You have a heel tag team fighting a heel tag team. It's like, it doesn't make sense.
So I have a quick question though, since we already kind of talked about the main event a bit. Do you guys think that they'll have Sammy lose the match and still be in the Rumble?
Yeah. Oh my God. I was hoping not because Sammy was in the match. I'm like, wait a minute. He's in a one-on-one. He's not going to win the Rumble then because he already already has a match.
I mean, he's not winning the
Yeah,
Rumble.
but he's definitely going to be in the Rumble. They wouldn't have had him fight Drew and not be in the Rumble.
I think the fact that it's in Saudi and they're not going to have just like everyone available and they're only going to be able to fly, a certain amount of people there, that you're going to see that kind of like double up. Like I guarantee Gunther's in the Rumble as well.
He already said he's in the Rumble.
So I think they're all going to be doing, obviously except for the champions, but so I think, and I don't think Sammy's winning the Rumble either.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Roman Reigns or fucking Super Cody is gonna win his third Rumble.
Don't say it.
Nah, Cody's not winning that. I highly doubt it.
He really should not.
Bet you $100 that Cody's gonna win his third Rumble because they want to fucking push this guy like they did Hogan and Stone Cold, the AstroTurf guy.
Nah, I think they're gonna wait a year before they give him the third one. He will win 3. I just don't think it's this year. It's either best bets are Roman and Gunther.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Or Braun Breaker.
The only thing with Roman is just the more interesting pick because between Punk being champ and Drew being champ, either story works out in WWE's favor. You can have Roman and Punk settle their differences because, Punk stole his wise man.
Or have Drew McIntyre because of the bloodline.
The bloodline Hunter storyline, and I'm finally going to finish this shit off. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, that could work out in terms of story sense. Gunther works out in terms of how they're building him.
Yep.
But
There is one thing, though. I don't mean to be the one that complains a lot, but when they announced Roman Reigns was in the Royal Rumble, see, everyone knew he was going to be in there, but I don't like how they just had a commercial saying Roman's in the Rumble. It's like, I would have loved to watch the Rumble and have him come out unexpected without anyone saying his name.
no, because you got to leave. In terms of surprises, you got Jericho and Brock both being there.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of people who want their regular.
Obafemi, Powerhouse Hobbs.
And let's be real, they haven't really sold the Rumble. They haven't really pushed the Rumble, so you need something to get people to want to tune in besides just
And
the fact that it's the
Reigns
Rumble.
is their biggest name.
So,
That's just, just a minor nitpick.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm worried that about them making Sammy lose in Saudi. That's why I think he might win the belt. And then for all we know, for shits and giggles, they have Drew win the Rumble after losing the belt because he's pissed off and they're trying to establish him as a badass heel now. And he loses to Sammy, but he comes back in out of nowhere, beats the shit out of everyone, wins the Rumble. Him and Sammy rematch. Or you could do a whole story and turn this to a 4-way.
you just said you just hate the multi-man.
I do hate it. I'm just pitching.
So why would you want to hit a 4-way?
I never said I wanted it. I'm just saying I'm pitching stuff they can do. This is not of my interest of preferred things to do.
Okay.
Let me just state all that.
Put that on record.
That's like me saying, let's have Nia have a match on WrestleMania. You think I want to watch that shit?
I think you would tune in if it was Nia versus Mox in an anything goes match.
Out of morbid curiosity, let them have their rematch. Nia never got even.
I want Sammy to win just because I want Leo to melt down.
What? All right. What are we forgetting? Oh, AJ Nakamura.
Yeah, AJ Nakamura. We moved on to the tag team match with the Rhea and Liv Morgan. We went on the whole thing with the botches, but next thing was Shinsuke and AJ Styles.
Which was Shinsuke's best match in years.
Since NXT. That was the match that should have been at Mania 8 years ago.
Yeah. I've seen Shinsuke in definitely a few years. I'm not gonna bash him. AJ can wrestle a mop at my point, but it's sad. It's making me sad that he's retiring already.
Yeah,
I thought he was gonna stay at least till Mania.
Yeah, he's pretty much. I think it's pretty obvious that he's done.
WWE,
But not TNA.
yeah. I think he's gonna end everything on TNA. So maybe that's just me speculating too much.
No, come on, it makes sense. Full circle. He's begun his career in TNA. We're ending it in TNA, and with Gallows and Anderson.
Wait, you mean we're not getting AJ and Omega in AEW?
Well,
No, why does everyone want to
maybe.
AEW?
That's why I keep reading. Everyone's like, "Oh, AJ's gonna go have a real retirement tour in AEW."
But why does everything have to be a tour? Just because Sting and Cena have one, AJ doesn't want a tour. He just wants to retire on his own terms.
I don't think
He
Sting.
needs I think he needs a real, actual retirement match, not a gimmick retirement match. You know what I mean? Not a loser leave town match,
Yeah.
which is essentially what it is.
I mean, honestly, did Sting really even have a tour? I mean, he said that like he came and said that his last match was going to be at this time, but he didn't come in and say, I'm going on this. Like he didn't do a Tanahashi thing where he said he's, this is his last year or a Cena thing. So I don't think Sting was really on a tour either. I think he just eventually said, my last match is going to be here. So it's so weird. Everyone up with these tours. Everyone, the whole retirement tour thing. Just because Cena did it. But I think this is it. I don't think he's going to have a match in TNA, to be honest with you.
Really? You don't think he's going to go TNA with Gallows and Anderson and just finish up?
No?
Really? Not even TNA?
I think he might do like a small run in TNA, then call it a quits.
Yeah.
Especially with the TV deal. I think he's going to try to help establish them. Again, his
Hey,
TV contract is up, but not his TNA. That says nothing about it.
Do you guys feel like that the Gunther and AJ match should main event the show? Or no, you don't think so?
No.
No.
The Rumble? Hell no.
What happened, though? What are you saying? And you said that yesterday. Is Dylan talking crap? Because you said that yesterday.
Listen, can I have some of your crack, please? Because I need a good hit right now. I'm very angry.
Whatever you talk, man, turn it out.
It's the Royal Rumble, Dylan. It's not going to main event. I think the only time I can remember that anything besides a Rumble match. Yeah, I need everyone go on, hit their mute button because I'm hearing a lot of background.
Yeah, someone needs
Yeah.
background.
You guys don't think that it like you guys don't feel like it will deflate the crowd or anything like that? You guys don't think so?
Hold on. I have to add this. There is nothing that's going to main event the Royal Rumble pay-per-view than the Royal Rumble match. It doesn't matter if Vince McMahon's retiring or God's retiring, okay? God can come down from the heavens and retire, and he still ain't going on last before the main event.
Like I said,
Or not
it would,
the
like,
Royal Rumble.
right. There would have to be a major angle. Like a few years ago, you had the Roman KO match, where Sammy turned against the Bloodline. So you have to have something huge. There's not going to be a huge angle that's going to trump, let's say, Roman winning the Royal Rumble, even AJ losing. So, and no, I don't think it's not going to deflate the crowd at all.
I actually think it's the perfect match to have right before the Royal Rumble. Because if AJ's leaving, it's kind of that, damn, this is the last time we're going to see him, and it's like a new chapter thing. And what would be the most hilarious thing is right after the AJ Gunther match, The first person who's in the Royal Rumble is Gunther.
Oh God.
You know,
Doesn't even have to leave the ring.
oh my god, that'd be perfect. And have him fucking win the Rumble just to piss them off even more.
I'm just saying that would be a cool spot. Like Gunther win the match, beats AJ, chokes him out, retires him, and then reveals he's the first person in the fucking Rumble. That would be either number 1 or number 2. Like he goes in the back and then just comes back out.
I mean, shit, we'll be breaking his foot.
Number 1, so here's my prediction that I want it to be. I want number 1 to be Cody Rhodes, number 2 to be Roman Reigns.
Or vice versa.
I think this year they're gonna have LA Knight be in the top 4, or be like the Iron Man this year, because they haven't done anything for LA Knight. He has to have some type of performance to hang his hat on. So I can see LA Knight being like the Iron Man, coming out at like 1 or 2 and staying till the final 4.
The thing with LA Knight is he's gonna have one of those returns. So you have to have half of the vision. You have to have Bronson Reed in the ring. So then LA Knight's music hits and he could come in like a house of fire, eliminate Bronson.
And
So-
eliminate, Theory, eliminate Paul.
Because it was Paul and Bronson that took him out. So it's that exact spot to have LA Knight return in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do what they did with Cena in the Nexus.
So that DeeJay, that's
Not exactly like Cena in the Nexus, but
The 2011 when he came in and eliminated the whole Nexus.
okay. I thought you meant like the entire. Ignore me.
The 2011 Rumble when the whole Nexus was in, then Cena came in and eliminated all of them.
All right. Any other comments on Saturday night's main event?
I wanted to talk about real quick the Nakamura match. When I saw that AJ and Nakamura were fighting, I kind of felt my heart shattered because I'm like, this really is the end of AJ Styles. Because him and Shinsuke have been together since Japan, since the beginning. It really is the end of AJ Styles' career when I saw that. There's just one last thing. AJ and Punk need to wrestle just one time on tomorrow night.
I think this is the end of AJ's like main, you feel me, full-time run. I don't think he's like.
You don't think because there's just one thing I saw online and I'm like, oh my god, if next Saturday really is his last match in WWE, just look at his last WrestleMania at 41 and look at all his matches he had in 2025. He really did not go out on a good note if you think about it.
Oh no, he didn't.
Yeah, I have nothing against Logan Paul in the match, but it's like, really? That is your final WrestleMania match that you're ending your career on?
I mean, like I said, as far as we know, it's just the end of his WWE career. It's the end of his wrestling career, especially with how much in shape AJ still got in and how much he still got left in the tank as well.
Uh-huh.
Like a guy out here doing 450 splashes ain't gonna be fucking retiring anytime soon after. So.
Uh-huh. But I'm just thinking, it's gonna come inevitably when he loses this Saturday and says goodbye to WWE. Everyone will be making the videos how Triple H has failed Cena and AJ Styles, how Vince McMahon were the superior ones because he made AJ look like a megastar, and Triple H didn't treat AJ the same way Vince did.
People have short memories when it comes to the way Vince booked people. Like, do you not remember how Vince retired Kurt Angle?
Yeah, I remember.
I mean,
Don't remind me.
so
That was bad. I did not like that.
Fuck me,
it's just
that's such an awful retirement.
it's just funny to me how people seem like they have this short memory and this romanticization of how Vince booked. So it
And
just
those same fuckheads want them back.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just
So
find
like,
I just find it funny.
yeah, but like when you think about Kurt Angle, like he only did it because he was very petty with Angle with TNA. But John Cena was his boy. He was his golden boy. Think if Vince McMahon gave him his Cena the retirement run, he would have given him a proper one because John Cena was his guy.
I don't think it was improper. It wasn't, it wasn't booked great at times, but I don't think it was improper.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like all the writing, like they had nothing for him because they had to book Cena's tour, and everything else took a back burner because they're like, okay, what are we doing with Cena?
And well,
Like, I don't know.
that would have been the same way if Vince was booking, though.
Yeah, I don't know, but Vince, I feel, would have given more care to Cena, given him better stuff. Because even when it got bad, John Cena was always the good part.
Vince would have never pulled off the R-Truth Cena shit.
Well, no, he wouldn't have because, first of all, he
Never
wouldn't have
let that
fired
shit
R-Truth
happen.
because Vince loved R-Truth. Vince McMahon fucking loved R-Truth. He would never have gotten rid of him.
No, I'm saying he wouldn't have let R-Truth got a fucking world title shot at a pay-per-view match.
Well, to be fair, he didn't get a world title shot.
Did he? I thought he did.
No, they were
Oh
not.
no, because I bitched that it wasn't for the title. You're right.
You know, it wasn't for the title. But that's pretty much it about Saturday Night's Main Event. I could go on a whole tangent, but I'm not gonna, take hostage.
But all right, I'll eat the crow because I thought Sammy was gonna win the Rumble after that promo, but he did win the match for Rumble. Now he's gonna lose the Rumble. Unless they fucking, like I said, are dumb enough to really pull another switcheroo and give Sammy the belt, and then we're all like, okay, what the fuck is going on here?
I'm going to go on record. Sammy is not winning the title or the Rumble next Saturday.
I don't think he's winning the Rumble either. I thought he was winning the Rumble if he lost this match, which wasn't the case. But you know what didn't lose the match? TNA.
Look at that segue. Look at that segue.
I know, right? Because this week, like I said last week, was going to be exponentially better because there was more to focus on. They had more people there. They're not building towards any more pay-per-views no more. It's a new pay-per-view cycle. There's new shit to do. And I think TNA, for the most part, almost hit a home run. 7 out of 10 for me.
DeeJay, I want to actually call you. I'm going to call you a rascal for saying that. As I segue into the fact that we've got a return on Thursday as well.
Trey Miguel from the Rascals.
The 2026 Andrade Award goes to Trey Miguel.
I don't know. It will be fucking hilarious if he pulled the fired briefcase for fired.
That's another thing that people were talking about. I think you ever sign him back just to fire him.
I swear to God, they have the chance to do the funniest thing in wrestling. But no, I think ideally, I think the Macklin's the one going. But no, you called out Trey Miguel coming back. I didn't think it'd be so quick. But you know how Tony doesn't like those fucking non-compete clause. As soon as you leave AEW, you're free to go wherever the fuck you want.
Yep.
Oh, I never knew that actually. So
Literally, the second you step out the goddamn door, you're allowed to go wherever the fuck you want.
So Tony doesn't give you a non-compete clause if I get released or
Hell no. When Punk got fired, he was allowed to go straight to WWE.
That's actually not true. Punk did have.
He was going to go to TNA originally, but then WWE gave him the call.
No, Punk did have a 3-month no compete on his.
Oh.
Because I thought he didn't.
And the reason why, honestly, there's no competes for AEW is because AEW doesn't release people. They let their contracts run out. But if your contract runs out in WWE, you're free to go somewhere the next day as well.
Yeah, because your contract expired.
So, but unless there's some really bad circumstance, AEW really doesn't release people. They'll bench you, they'll keep you off for a year and a half, but they'll let your contract run out. But they won't release you.
I just think that it's partially fucking hilarious they brought him in so quick. And like I said, Trey Miguel got Jay Briscoe. Basically, from my perspective of what's out there, I think if WBD made that call about him, I think they need whoever the fuck is making these calls needs to get fired. Because this is the second time they brought in an actual talent or a group or someone. WBD said, nah, we're good, but we're going to allow Nick Gage and Mike Tyson be on the air.
See, the TNA was
double standards.
TNA was smart with the Trey thing because his name was in the news cycle still. So you want to jump on that while, his name is still, up there in the news cycle. So that made sense.
And they're just trying to keep names at this point. The fact that TNA can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've been signing people up and down out of nowhere. So them bringing them back in wasn't really too much of a shock to me.
Let me ask you.
Sound quick.
Why is it that Trey Miguel, who wrote an insensitive tweet, or it was actually a Facebook post or comment 7 years ago, is banned from WBD, and people were justifying this, but Zachary Wentz dressing up like Hitler and doing a Nazi salute simply because it was Halloween is fine.
Double standards, that's why.
Because we can offend Jewish people, but we can't offend the gays.
And
Yeah.
it's
offend the gays.
It was crazy to me that people were trying to justify and defend it simply
It's
because
like Dave Chappelle said. I don't know. One of the many things Dave Chappelle says. It's like being Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, but just the fact that I saw people defending it, and I know the only reason they defended it is because the whole AEW versus the world mentality, not because they actually thought that what Trey did was what Wentz did was fine, but only because Wentz is officially all elite, so we must defend Wentz. And
Yeah.
and someone actually said to me, well, it was only Halloween and he was only goofing around. No, I'm sorry, you don't. Even on Halloween, no normal person dresses up as the most evil historical character of the 20th century. That's not a ha-ha joke.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It's like dressing up as fucking Osama bin Laden on fucking 9/11.
Like,
God. Whose background's that?
Dylan's.
But it's like it's a whole double standard thing. It's like I'm gonna go smoke some weed and say, hey, let's kill 6 million Jews, and then I don't lose my job, and yet this guy made some stupid tweet years ago and then gets fired. It's like, that was 7 years ago.
No, it's the same reason why they kept Jay Briscoe off of TV, though. Because he said some insensitive shit about, something about gays and his kids, or protecting his kids from being gay, or not teaching his kids that being gay is normal. Something along those lines. I'm just paraphrasing that. You know what I mean? They kept Jay Briscoe off the TV for that after he apologized for the tweet, I don't know how many times, and kept him and his brother off of mainstream TV, and guess what happened? Jay ends up dying tragically, and then they immediately said, oh, we're lifting the ban because we feel bad because he's dead.
Oh, yeah, and I heard he was supposed to be in the Wyatt family originally.
Yeah, that too. The Briscoes were supposed to be initially the Wyatt family.
Yeah, they were supposed to be Luke Harper and Eric Rowan originally with Bray Wyatt, but then plans changed.
The $10 million tweet.
Was it?
Cornette called it.
Was it actually
$10
that
tweet?
tweet?
Because that tweet right there cost them their contracts. They were going to be signed.
Oh shit! Yeah, I remember hearing about that. They were going to be, the Harper and Rowan to Wyatt, but then I guess that tweet made WWE change their minds.
So I think Trey Miguel is a good ad. I enjoyed actually the Feast of Fire stipulation. This entire show was just formatted better. It actually showcased a lot more people better. The only thing, the commercials are still abysmal.
They gotta
But
figure something. They gotta format it around those commercials better. I mean, TNA's gotta like. I know. I guess the commercials are kind of beyond their control because it's whatever AMC decides when the commercials are and what commercials. But they gotta format matches, even if your match is gonna be a little bit shorter, or move to get the picture-in-picture thing going. If you're gonna have that many commercials, so at least you're not missing the matches.
and I also want to state too, this is a lone opinion that is only of DJ of Rock and Ropes, and no one else has to agree with said opinion. But I think the Elegance brands are the top heels in the entire company. I think they're fucking great.
It's definitely your opinion alone.
I think the only reason I'm saying that is because I think they're so bad on purpose. It's either on purpose or on accident, but they're so bad that it gives them heat. It gives them real heat. It's not go away heat. It's actual fuck you. We don't want to see you heat.
I can't agree with you on that one. Sorry.
You don't have to agree with me. That TNA crowd booed the fuck out of them. Okay, gave them the real reaction that fucking heels should get because they actually don't like none of those motherfuckers. And then the angle with Ash, I thought was actually really good.
I saw that coming.
I didn't because I thought she was done wrestling. There were stories going around saying she was retired.
Right, no, but I didn't think she was turning babyface. Is what I mean. Like I saw her.
I think the shock was more of that she could take and give bumps, and she's wrestling again.
Well, I never even heard what exactly quote unquote made her retire.
I think it was a neck injury because of either a neck injury or a concussion.
Oh. I would not have done two similar swerves on the same show. But between the Elegance brand and then what they did with the system. So I would have maybe separate them to a different show or done something slightly different. They seemed too similar for my taste.
I could kind of agree with that.
And obviously the system one was a much bigger one than the Ash by Elegance one. So I definitely would have maybe pushed that back an extra week. You could have teased a little bit of tension. And then next week have the big blow up, but then swerve that they were working together type thing, because your bigger angle was I guess the system's been together 4 years I guess, 3 years 4 years I guess, so I don't even know. And then to have them I was like it went up, it went down for me when they announced the new person being Bear Bronson. I was like, really?
Yeah, that was a bit of a letdown, but I also in the TNA context of things, it does make a bit sense. Especially when they turn two, because I'm like, okay, new system, new look. And Bear Bronson's going to be like the breakout star of this.
A Moose 2.0.
Yes.
And then the other thing I didn't buy is the fact that Eddie Edwards' wife didn't know about the plan. Like, you're married. Why would you really keeping that from your wife? That just, maybe I'm overthinking it as far as that part goes, but because she was on Moose's side, it's and you don't even if you were shocked by it, you don't side with your husband.
Even if she gets on board.
It's but I thought the angle at the end was pretty good. So, it actually leads to something new, a different story. So, I'm interested to see where it goes. I was iffy about whether I was going to actually watch TNA this week after the first week, but I think that they definitely redeemed themselves, and I'll see what happens this Thursday.
I think over the next, like I said, these next few weeks of TNA is going to be because the second week of TNA is what I'm used to watching when it comes to TNA and what they put on TV. That's what I'm used to. That's the show that I've been sitting here touting about for the past year. And I think they're going to keep building on that and keep showing you that they can, have better shows. And I think they just need to find their medium and get some star power in there. And maybe change who the Knockouts champion is. Because, yeah.
So you
I
want
think
Dana
they
win a
might put
title
the...
back?
What'd you say, Jameer?
You want Dana win a title back? Because that's what I think they're going with. Because I don't think Zion holding that title for that long.
No, I think it's going back to Ash because that was the plan before she got hurt. Establish her Elegance brand, which I'm all for. Have Mr. Elegance win like the X Division title or the international title.
Wait, what?
And I think they all can get some heat.
What do you mean by X Division?
I said Mr. Elegance win the X Division title. What do you mean? What do I mean about the X Division?
Oh, because I'm like, you just went from the Elegance brand to that random dude.
Mr. Elegance is in the Elegance brand.
That's if he's on Russell.
But yeah, no, I give TNA a 7 out of 10. Next week, I'm hoping they stick to what they're doing. I think within the next 3 weeks, Nick Nimitz will use his Call Your Shot. And I can't remember what's the next pay-per-view.
I don't think
No,
it's.
surrender.
But it's
Wait,
not
what
that's not a pay-per-view. It's like a TNA Plus special, right? It's not an actual pay-per-view.
Isn't it Sacrifice?
I thought it was No Surrender in February.
Could be.
Because it is, because I remember on the show they was having
I know.
No Surrender.
I do know one of the shows they were promoting was Sacrifice, but I could be wrong. Let's see. What else did we want to talk about this week? I'm looking at
Well,
topic.
let me ask you real quick. What do you think they're gonna have ratings wise for this show this past Thursday?
I want to be an optimist and say that they can reach the 200 because this show was purely better, and I think that on this network they can grow their viewership instead of just push people away. But at the same time, I also have to agree with your thought process. Last week they could have, based on what the IWC review was, they pushed off a lot of people. So I could see a drop off to like 150. Anything, again, I still go back to my initial argument that I told Switchblade. Anything over 150 is still a win for TNA.
Honestly, I think they're gonna dip under 100.
You think they're losing 73K?
Yeah, yeah, I really do. After that first show, I think maybe they might rebound at the week after because the show was that much better. But I definitely think that I don't think people tuned in at the time.
I don't know. Like I said, I think I think a lot of people are holding the first episode a little more dear than most. And I also think when it came to Raw, the second episode of Raw was a lot better than the debut on Netflix. So, and it didn't like drop exponentially. It only dropped a small percentage compared to what it was. So, I don't know. I don't see them dropping under 100. I don't think they killed it that bad. Under 150, maybe. But I think that pocket of 150 to 175 is going to be what AEW's used to. Or not AEW, TNA, sorry.
I'm gonna call it being the original number that was first reported for last week's show, which was like 95K.
That was just the demo.
Right, but I'm just saying I think that's gonna end up being the overall. But we'll see. Herm, you got your hand up? What's up?
I mean, other than the fact that there's like 20 feet of snow outside, you keep talking about the numbers for TNA. Do you think there's going to be a point where they're going to hit like a basement and WWE's going to be like, hey, we can't do this, and they just pull the partnership off the table?
No, because it doesn't affect WWE. I don't think they're going to end their partnership with TNA with NXT because it doesn't. It's not affect as long as it doesn't affect WWE at all, and what TNA doesn't affect WWE.
Okay. That's...
Yeah, TNA existence is purely just to fuck with AEW. Like, I don't see any other reason why WWE would try to resuscitate this company if that wasn't their hopes or potential. So,
Well, I think it's also for the pipeline to certain talents who might be there, so they're like padding the way for them to come in instead of having to worry about you know them even looking at AEW. I mean, look, we got Jordan Grace went there without question. Henry went there without question. They got Leon Slater. Eventually they're gonna have. Uh, wow, I'm completely blanking on Santana. I mean, Santana's not going to go back to AEW, that's for sure.
I think Santana's in TNA for a while because he doesn't want to go up to WWE and go back to being small fish in a bigger pond.
Do you think Santana is a surprise for the Rumble?
Could be as TNA champion. I can see them trying to give him that kind of rub. They've already featured TNA champions before,
and they are taped. They taped last week, so this is a taped episode that's coming Thursday. So it's not a travel issue.
Could be.
So,
but I think in terms of WWE featuring TNA talent on the main roster, I think they're only going to save it for like big moments like this, a Royal Rumble or a Mania.
Yeah, I think the Leon Slater on SmackDown was just a matter of convenience because of the whole visa issue. So I don't think it wasn't the story that everyone thought that WWE pulled him from the debut. It was confirmed that there was visa issues, and that's the only reason that he was able to make that SmackDown shot. So,
I still think WWE's just covering their ass with that story, and visa issues my ass.
Hey, either way, that match cut.
I mean, I also think it was also a matter, they didn't have Myron Reed anymore, and that was the match they were promoting for the debut. But like this Saturday, we do have the Royal Rumble, so let's get some Royal Rumble predictions. We got 4 matches. Let's start off with the Women's Royal Rumble match. Let's get predictions for not only who do you think is going to win, but who do you think is going to be 1 and number 2?
It's tough, actually.
Ooh, first 2 in. Okay, that is a tough one. So, I think I can see Julia being number 2 because as the U.S. champion, she's going to be in it. I'd say Lyra and Julia is number 1, and Liv's the obvious winner.
Okay, I'm going with Liv winning, but I think Liv is going bell to bell. I think she's going to be number 1, and I think she's going to go all the way. And I
don't think they're going to want to risk her being hurt, so I can see her going in as late as possible, maybe a 29.
I also think that Roxanne's going to be number 2. I think they're going to do the tag partner type thing, like they've done a couple of times.
I can see. All right, I like Roxanne and Julia. I can see that being the first 2 to replay that history that they had.
Michael, what about you? What do you got?
I'm not sure about my number 1 and 2, but I was saying I can predict. I do believe who number 30 is going to be. And my winner of the Royal Rumble, I think number 30 will be Bianca Belair, and I think Bianca or Liv will be winning this Rumble.
Herm, what do you got?
I think Bianca's going to win. I think the first two, though, it's going to be Chelsea Green, and Bailey.
Jameer?
I'm going with Bianca winning the Rumble, not letting that down. And number 1 and 2, Liv and possibly Bailey.
And Dylan, you still there? You want to give us your prediction?
Yeah, I got Liv or Bianca winning the Rumble, and I think 1 and 2. I think if I was WWE, I would have Liv come out first, and she said in interviews that she wanted to be like number 1. So I would have her come out at number 1, and I think number 2 should be like Lyra Valkyria or something like that. So those are my predictions there.
So that's the women's Rumble match. Then we have Drew versus Sami.
Sami Zayn.
I'm calling Drew retaining.
Yeah, Drew's probably going to retain the title.
Drew McIntyre. This is the first defense.
Fuck y'all, I'm going alone and I'm calling Sami.
I think they're going to pull that trigger?
I just don't see them. I don't see Drew dropping in his first title defense.
You said the same thing with Cody. Those were your same exact fucking words with Cody.
But it wasn't his first title defense.
And Cody dropped that shit. Listen, it don't matter. I think they're going to hot potato this shit for Mania. I think they realize that WWE is not as interesting as it once was. WrestleMania isn't drawing the same way it did last year. And Triple H and Nick Khan needs to milk out more money from these fans. So let's hot potato this fucking belt and try to get some eyes on our product going into our busiest time of the year.
All right, have fun dying on that hill.
But that's just me. So again, I'm going Sami wins the boyhood dream, beats the fuck out of Drew, kicks him in the nuts, haluva kick, 1, 2, 3.
Herm, what do you got?
I got Drew winning it.
And then we got Gunther and AJ. And unfortunately, it looks like I'm going with Gunther. I think this is it for AJ. And I think this is it for AJ. I don't think we're going to see AJ in TNA. I don't think he's going to AEW. I think he's going to be a man of his word, just like Cena. And this is it. I don't think he's done with WWE. I think he's going to end up signing either a Legends deal or maybe even transition at some point to, being a producer or something in the creative. But I do think this is the end of the line for his in-ring career.
And I think this is the beginning of his Undertaker-style retirement. He's going to say he's done, be gone for a year and a half, hate being a dad at home. Like, you know what? I got like 3 matches left in me. Let's do this.
Mike?
I don't think AJ is completely done.
Michael?
So this is for Drew and Sami, or just the men's rumble, or
No.
AJ?
Hey, we moved on to AJ and Gunther.
Okay. Yeah, I think this might be AJ's last match, and it is kind of poetic. He began his career 10 years ago at the Rumble, and his career ends at the Rumble 10 years later. It's kind of poetic.
Herm?
Yeah, I'm going with Gunther.
Jameer?
Gunther.
Didn't get that.
He said Gunther.
Oh. And Dylan?
I got Gunther winning.
And last but not least, we have the men's Rumble match. I'm going to go with Roman winning. I'm going to go Dragunov number 1. And I'm going to go number 2. I'll go Penta.
That's a good pick. All right. I don't want to go with Roman because I feel like Roman's too safe of a pick. And Braun's probably going to still be suspended.
Well, he's on Raw Monday, so something's gonna happen.
I'm trying to think. Because Roman's really the only person who would make more sense to anything. Cody don't make no sense. I don't know. For shits and giggles, I'll say Brock Lesnar. And then at 1 and 2, I'm going to say it's Trick and Penta.
Mike?
Number 1 will be Cody Rhodes. Number 2 will be Roman Reigns. And the winner of the Rumble, I have 3 choices. Either Roman Reigns, actually 4. Roman Reigns, Gunter, Braun Breaker, or LA Knight.
Herm, you're up.
Well, as much as I would like to see LA Knight win it, which I don't think he's going to, I think we're going to have Roman winning it. Number 1 and number 2 are going to be Penta and Rey Fenix.
Jameer?
Roman wins in the Rumble. Cody and Roman 1 and 2.
And Dylan?
Yeah, I got Roman winning the Rumble. What I do predict though is I do think Braun Breaker, like they're gonna set something on Raw where they're gonna have Braun Breaker enter number 1. That's my prediction.
And who's number 2?
Number 2 will be like a surprise or something. Like maybe we see Hobbs or something like that, like a surprise. Like Braun Breaker won't see it coming, you know?
Or Jericho.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You're gonna have to. Actually, Jericho's gonna have to be either 1 or 2 because you need the big entrance, I guess. So if Jericho is returning, he would probably have to be 1 or 2, right? Because you want to give him the full.
Yes.
The full entrance. You don't want him just
Makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so while talking about the Rumble, who's going to be the biggest surprise entrant for either the women or the men?
I'd say Chris Jericho.
Well, according to Dr. C, it's going to be Anna Jay in the Royal Rumble.
She's winning the men, but she's winning the men's Royal Rumble.
According to Dr. C, okay? And Persephone is like 3 weeks away.
Well, he's in shambles about Persephone. He's still in shambles that she signed her double contract with the AEW.
But on a serious note, for the women, I think Bianca makes her return, but she doesn't win because I think they're saving her and Jade for the Chamber. Or at least setting up her being Jade's challenger for the Chamber. And then, obviously, Jericho's going to be the big, major return probably. Seth might be back. It depends on how bad the shoulder problem is. I don't know who else in terms of major big names who could come in. I mean, Hendry's still in NXT.
He could still be in the Rumble, though.
He might be in the Rumble.
No, he's on SmackDown now with Joe Hendry.
No, he's still in it. Yeah.
Yeah, he never got called up, but he can still be in the Rumble because he is under WWE contract.
Actually, I think the biggest surprise they can do for the Rumble this year in terms of call-ups or just overall surprise would be Jada Parker. Have that entire crowd in Saudi yelling, especially all the Saudis going, Miss Parker.
Yeah,
Miss
but
Parker.
but in all seriousness, do you think they're gonna know? Like, I don't know how in they are with NXT.
Over the past few years, with how Saudi's been tapping into the Western modern culture, that I think they're actually keeping up with this shit now.
What about? Are we gonna see the debut of Royce Keys?
No.
Definitely.
I think he's definitely NXT. They're not gonna throw him to the fucking wolves, literally and figuratively.
At the Royal Rumble?
He's if he's not debuting this week on like a go home show of NXT or something, I don't see him debuting until after the Rumble. Till they're
Well, better get you the Hamlet who won that ladder match on NXT and help Ricky win the title. If you're not gonna show up at the Rumble.
I mean, that would make sense if they're gonna DeeJay, if they're gonna go with your idea of putting him in NXT with Ricky, it would make sense for him to debut on February 3rd to help Ricky win the title.
And I'm gonna lie, if Hobbs doesn't show up on NXT February 3rd, Ricky ain't winning that title.
Well, he's not gonna win the title because he's not in the match. He can't just
Yes, he is.
can't just magically put him in the match out of nowhere.
Yeah, because he's a former champion, never got his rematch, so he's already in the match.
No, are you talking about Hobbs or are you talking about Ricky?
Ricky.
Oh, I thought you meant Hobbs. No, I know Ricky's in the match.
Ricky. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. With what DeeJay had said over the last couple of weeks is that he would have him debut as being the heavy for Ricky. So having him debut on February 3rd in the middle of the match to help Ricky win the title makes most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Which is after the Rumble. So
Correct.
Royce Keys ain't flying to Saudi. I think his ass is going to be chilling in the Performance Center, eyeing out some talent. Okay? Let me stop.
Oba.
What?
Oba will be in the Rumble.
Oba, he'll be in the Rumble.
Yeah, Obafemi and Powerhouse Hobbs.
I think the better moment would be Oba and Omos being in the middle of the ring.
Well, let's talk
And a lot of people aren't talking about this, but Chad Gable's probably returning at the
Gable, I
Rumble
forgot.
too.
Did you
He's
see?
returning tomorrow.
So that might be whatchamacallit. That might be one of the big surprises coming out of Rumble is Chad Gable coming back. Starting.
But does Gable show up, or do we have El Grande in the match, and then the second,
Have both of them.
and then
I
have the
was gonna
second?
say, I think Gable shows up as the guy returning, and then El Grande comes out after.
So you don't do two El Grandes and do the whole,
No, I don't think you start the El Grande thing until after. Like, have El Grande be the one to eliminate Gable, and then Gable try calling out Kaiser saying, "You're not the real El Grande Americano." And basically, that's what the feud's going to be, is who's the real El Grande. That's the only thing I can think of in terms of that. It'll be one of the best mid-card feuds ever because people will actually want to see it and be invested to it.
And are we turning the Kaiser version babyface then to match the AAA version?
Probably. Well, it depends because I think Gable returning will make him a babyface, so I'd keep Kaiser heel. Because Gable is returning from a really big major shoulder injury.
Yeah, but you get the return pop, sure, but as far as the long term, I think he's got a lot more in the tank as a heel. And like I said, you got El Grande in AAA as a babyface now, so you might as well match him up to what you see on WWE. I mean, I think we all could agree the build to the Royal Rumble has been completely horrendous.
Oh, hold on. Is this thing on? This actually might be my unpopular, but I actually don't mind the build because I fucking hated last year how everyone was announcing, I'm in the Rumble, I'm in the Rumble. And they showed like 20 people. It's like, I love that they're not revealing who's in the Rumble. They only revealed like 6 people, which is good. I want it to be unpredictable.
Yeah, but my point is, though, you haven't really even pushed. Like, many people don't even realize the Rumble is next weekend. You haven't. Now, I'm not talking about, like, announcing everyone for the Rumble. I agree with you that it's. I would rather know as little people that are in the actual match itself and get surprised. But it just feels like they haven't even pushed the fact that the Rumble is coming on next weekend.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, like
you
you
want.
advertise the actual show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It just doesn't. It seems they put more into Saturday Night's main event last night than they have for the Rumble itself, and the Rumble's like the number 2, maybe the number 3 event of the calendar year. It just seems like there's just been no push about the Rumble, and even with the small amount no one started talking about being part of the Rumble till last week.
Yeah.
It's like a week before, then all of a sudden everyone declared themselves.
Is it because do you think it's going to be kind of hard to promote with the odd start time of it being 2 in the afternoon?
Why? They've promoted other events that start in the middle of the afternoon.
And they haven't done well, but I'm saying in terms of live viewership, they haven't done well.
I think the Rumble's its own animal. I know I plan on watching. I plan on, being on my computer on my VPN watching cuz I don't pay for fucking ESPN. So, I think with the Rumble it's kind of like WrestleMania. Like I don't think they would have an issue with people watching it if WrestleMania was international. I don't think anyone would have an issue watching WrestleMania like 3 in the afternoon. You kids, Herm will remember this, but you kids won't. WrestleMania used to start at 4 in the afternoon every year. And back in my day, SummerSlam was on a Monday. You
How old are you?
you young whippersnappers.
How old are you?
Old enough to be your father.
Old enough. I will
I
not.
was not heard that phrase before.
I will not reveal my age because people weaponize it.
And speaking of weaponized, if you need a weapon, go to bluechew.com, use promo code THEJET. Get you 20% off.
I guess he's using it because he's not here.
Oh, he's definitely using something. But yeah, like, I forgot where I was about to go. Oh, don't be ageist, Jameer. That's where I was going. We all can enjoy wrestling.
I'll say that I started watching in 1985. So,
Yeah, you're definitely way older than me.
but before there was a Monday Night Raw, SummerSlams were actually on Mondays. So, and then WrestleMania, at least the early ones, actually started at like 4 in the afternoon. So I remember I think they stopped it around after WrestleMania 6. I think WrestleMania 6 was like started at like 4 in the afternoon. And then I think they started moving it as you got pretty close to the double digits.
Ow. So let me ask you real quick while we're on the AEW topic. Not really on the AEW.
I was gonna say, really? We weren't even talking.
Not really, but I'm getting on the AEW topic.
Okay, let's go to the AEW.
Did anyone watch Collision last night?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so I watched a little bit. Just slightly a little bit. Now, they had a CMLL World Championship match, I think. Or at least the preview for the match. Where it's Claudio versus Roddy.
No, they had the actual match last night, but go on.
They did have the match?
Yeah.
Okay. I've only watched highlights of this shit. But a lot of it was actually kind of interesting. So, they had that, which I'm not, that's all I'm commenting on. Claudio is the king of fighting for fucking second tier fucking world titles. Like, can never get an actual world title shot. Ring of Honor, we'll let you hold that. CMLL, we'll let you hold that. The world title for the company you're actually fucking signed for? Nah. Why? But
I just had an idea. It's the stupidest idea ever for AEW, but I can't stop thinking about it. You know the Death Riders, Dean Ambrose, Cesaro, you know their theme song? That awesome theme song. I'm thinking a wrestler just departed WWE. I'm thinking, I'm sorry, make this guy a member of the Death Riders, and his theme song would fit him perfectly. Tommaso Ciampa.
oh god.
Imagine Tommaso Ciampa coming out to the Death Riders theme. It fucking fits like a glove.
So like my only issue with that, again, there's how many other belts on AEW, or at least AEW related belts? We can't have these two fuckers fight over those. Has anyone seen Ricochet with the national title?
The biggest thing is Josh Perry, but that's about it. He was in it. Wow.
I'm just saying, is it just
I had to
me?
make that edit.
Like, I've been watching clips of Dynamites for the past 2 weeks. I haven't seen Ricochet defend that belt once.
Well, here's the good news, because I heard Ricochet, he's going to defend that title against Jack Perry in his hometown. With that, they're going to be on Dynamite.
Okay, what about Okada and the international title? When is he going to defend that fucking thing?
I don't fucking know. He shouldn't have that title just fucking get it.
He actually came.
I'm gonna go back and make that video.
He actually came back after being off TV last night.
Oh, I'm not. Trust me, we know Okada will be on television no matter what.
No, but
when's the last time he defended the international title?
I mean, didn't he win that from Kenny?
I'm just saying he's got a belt. We instead of just doing random world title eliminators, or just burying our our new trios champion because we just want to let them have good matches, which makes no fucking sense. Why put the belts on them and then immediately beat them?
You're down.
That's another thing, but that's me going back to Dynamite. But my main issue so far is just AEW keeps featuring other people's belts on their television and having their talent fight over other people's belts, but they're not establishing their belts or their divisions at all. Again, Willow is both the tag team and TBS champion. Maybe we should get one of those belts off of her. Just saying.
Well, and that would be the TBS title then.
Either get one of those belts off of her or have her on TV a lot more.
And he just
different storylines.
And I think the Sisters of Sin are going after Days of Wrath whenever that match gets made official.
I don't know, with the way they're just making up tag teams and throwing them together and giving them random world title shots, I think Windsor and Jamie Hayter are about to be the tag team champions to fucking deal with in the future.
Oh yeah, I saw they finally got that together, even though it took a while.
Andrade went against Magnus, where basically Andrade got over for being a man whore.
Oh yeah, people got so freaking happy. Look how when he took his pants off and he gave that woman his
He was
phone
taking
number.
a selfie with some sexy ass chick in the front row. He's taking his pants off, just showing the long locks. Like, don't get me wrong, Andrade's out doing his thing, but I don't. Oh no, okay, so Willow did defend the title on Collision against Julia.
For that rematch at Dynasty 2 years ago.
And I'm mad they threw that match on Collision because I feel like a lot more people would have been more attentive to that kind of match if it was showcased on Dynamite.
Especially where we put it, you already have 3 title matches on Dynamite anyway.
And then what else? I actually liked the Davis and Doyle match.
I mean, shit. Briscoe and his
I did see the highlights for that match. Davis and Doyle, I think, as a tag, might be my new favorite up and coming AEW tag team.
Do you think they're winning the tag titles on Wednesday?
No,
They should.
but I
But
don't
will
see
they?
how.
The question Brandon asked me, will they? I don't think so. But they should. It might be just a me thing, because noted Cornette stan DeeJay here goes against anything Cornette, because Cornette thinks these two fucking guys look like morons. I think they look great. I think they're a good modern tag team. Modern tag team with the old school look. And Cornette the one thing Cornette can't say, which is outside of his shtick, is that these two guys, just based on their look, can fit in any territory. You can throw them in the 80s. You can throw them in the early 90s. And they'll work just based on the look. The work, it depends on who you're asking. But I think those two, in terms of AEW right now and their tag division, is what they need. Especially if you just broke up like a Brodito.
Do you have them?
I think they're a good tag team, but let's not. Also, on another note, let's not reunite Pro Shitta as a tag team again. Let's maybe separate those guys. Have Takeshita go for that international title that Okada's doing fuck all of shit with, and maybe use Fletcher to help establish that new national title that again you're doing fuck off the shit with.
I still see Fletcher going for the world title if Ospreay's not cleared.
But yeah, that's so far my Collision rant. Anything else, Brandon?
Well, I was not watching Collision. Like I said,
I watched highlights because I wanted to give it a chance because I didn't want people to bitch at me saying, you don't watch Collision. I attempt to.
Yeah, but to be fair, Collision was also on at the same time as Saturday Night's Main Event. So.
Oh no, I definitely watched it after Saturday Night's Main Event. I didn't watch Collision live, but I did watch Collision.
Have you been watching AAA?
No, I have not.
You're ignorant.
No. So first off, let me add the preface for that. I've done multiple watch-alongs for their pay-per-views though this year, or not pay-per-views, but big event shows. So.
Well, I was calling you ignorant in a mocking way.
Oh, I know. You call me ignorant. Some call me racist.
Oh, I was getting the same thing this week. Don't worry.
So. How's it going, Hub? Speaking of racists.
Alright, King Asshole is here now. Fresh off an AFC championship win.
Oh, blow me.
Woo! Yeah, you two are very ignorant here, not respecting lucha culture by watching AAA consistently.
Oh, you motherfuckers.
I actually have been watching AAA every week, and I was going to bring up the fact that I didn't think this week...
And they're like, I don't know what they're saying.
No, I have Corey Graves JBL being the voice of AAA for me, so we're good.
Which halftime show you watching in 2 weeks?
What do you mean, which halftime show?
There's 2 halftime shows going on for the Super Bowl.
Is there really?
One's Bad Bunny. The other one is the Charlie Kirk All-Star Team fucking one. Headlined by Kid Rock.
I know nothing about any of those. Well, I knew the Bad Bunny thing, but I didn't know anything about the other thing.
Your ignorance has been showing this whole week.
I know, man.
You ignorant motherfucker.
Anyway, my point was that I did not think that the show this week of AAA was all that great. I thought it was just there. I don't know.
You insensitive motherfucker.
I mean,
How dare you not know of the Latin culture and understand the logistics of it? I'm just kidding.
I know. I mean, the Latin culture of...
No, you're going to get blocked.
The Latin culture of the Motor City Machine Guns. I understand that. But, I just
This is coming from the guy who tried to drop a nuke by just sharing a fucking Rey Mysterio clip of his debut.
but yeah, I don't know if it's because they're newer characters that I'm just not invested in, as that it just comes off as, just watching wrestling for the sake of wrestling. So, I'm hoping, as I continue to watch, maybe, there'll be a connection, but for the most part, it's just, wrestling for the sake of wrestling. A lot of the things that, people complain about AEW with.
So I just have a question: is Ace Austin a part of the Bang Bang Gang now?
He has been for
Okay.
the time that he's been on TV.
Just making sure. But yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say about Collision. Dynamite was, its own beast and animal. But that's neither here or there.
Well, let me ask Hub. We were talking earlier about the Rumble. What's your prediction for the men and women's Rumble, and who do you think will be number 1 and 2 for each match?
So, the men's, it feels like it's going to end up being Roman. Who he's challenging, I have no idea, but it feels like it's going to be Roman. The women's is really unpredictable, I think. Because I have no idea who you go with the win here. I mean, you go with Rhea or Io, that's pretty much F your tag division there. I don't know if Charlotte repeating will get blowback or not. And then, I don't know who else you could slide into that spot and say that you should win the Rumble. There's really no one with a convincing argument. For 1 and 2, I think it will end up being Orton and probably Trick, I guess. And then for the women, it'll probably be Liv and Rhea. But the women's is really unpredictable. You also really don't have a lot of options.
See, I think they're trying to do everything in their power to try to stay away from Rhea and Liv for as long as possible. I think that tag match was the closest we were going to get to having them, lock horns again. I definitely, but I think this year is just Liv's year. I don't think there's anyone else in the position that Liv's in terms of winning the Rumble. And no matter who she picks as a challenger, it's still going to be a top tier match.
But at that point, are you saying fuck Raquel? Because Raquel's been going after Akira for months, it feels like now. And you're just going to have Liv walk in, win the Rumble, and then that drop that brings Raquel back down.
Win the Rumble, have Raquel challenge Stephanie at the Chamber, and you could maybe do an angle that, kicks Liv out the Judgment Day, and have Roxanne and Raquel be the team from now on. Or there's a lot of different ways you can go with it if Liv wins the Rumble. You don't have to completely just shit out Raquel.
Well, unless you switch and put the title on Raquel, and then you do Raquel versus Liv.
There you go. And then you could somehow, in order for Raquel to retain, you have Roxanne turn on Liv and join Raquel and kick her out the Judgment Day.
No, you do it the other way around.
Option.
You have
option. I don't know what her recovery timeline is, or if she's even get recovered. Bianca's a solid choice if she's cleared.
She's cleared.
No, but you have to do Bianca and Jade.
Yeah, I said on that side, but then you just got to figure out Raw. Raw, I feel like it's easier to figure out than the SmackDown side.
I think Bianca's coming out number 30 and winning the whole damn thing.
Let's put it this way. We can all agree the Raw Women's division is head and shoulders above the SmackDown one, right? So, what are your options really for Jade for Mania? You're not doing Jordan Grace. that feels like that's going to be a Saturday Night Main Event or a random SmackDown match. You're not doing Chelsea Green, even though as entertaining as Chelsea Green is, you're not doing that.
Oh, you guys,
Julia's a solid choice, but like they've done nothing to make you care about Julia. I feel like it's too soon still to throw Charlotte back in the world title picture. Because I'm still not even convinced that people are actually fans of Charlotte. I think they're just fans of her being associated with Alexa more than anything. And then I don't think anyone wants to see Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill again. So,
well, you didn't get a rematch.
I feel like you go Bianca, second two-time Women's Rumble winner, and then you get the Jade Bianca match out of the way at Mania.
But you could do that by having her win the Elimination Chamber, and you could
But
still.
you already won it twice.
It still makes more sense to the story, though, of Bianca coming back to win the Chamber a year after Jade's return.
I don't see it. I see Liv
Because
win.
you had Bianca win the Chamber last year, and it ended up being a crock of shit because you just threw Rhea in there.
I also think that it's gonna be Charlotte and Alexa against Rhea and Io for the tag titles at Mania.
Which Rio will be losing, I'm thinking.
I think that tag team breaks up before Mania, and we're getting Io versus Rhea at Mania.
I
But
think
Rhea
Captain
finally getting a win over Io.
that way Rhea can kill two birds with one stone. Finally gonna win at SummerSlam and beat Io's guy.
Wait, so you're gonna turn Rhea heel?
Why would Io turn? Io has nothing to gain. She's beaten Io how many times, and Rhea never beat Io one time.
Yep. You could turn Rhea heel. The crowd's still not going to probably boo her.
I know, and a lot of
She has heelist tendencies to begin with.
And a lot of people say that let Rhea turn heel. This is the part you turn Rhea heel, because the only reason why the tag team champion is to get to that singles match between Rhea and Io.
Yeah, I think between the two, you're turning Rhea over Io. Io just looks way too likable to turn.
Well, but I was motherfucker in the other state
And
saying that
Rhea-
Io had to explain why Rhea would make the most sense to turn heel, because she got something she's gained out of this.
I just don't think you're gonna turn them, or at least break them up before Mania, simply for the fact that you can get 4 of them onto a Mania card in one match, as opposed to, in separate matches. And
I don't think they care. This regime really cares. Hey, we got to make sure everyone's on the card like the last regime. Because I think a Bliss and Charlotte will probably either that's going to be a tag match or that's going to be the blow off between those two. One of those two teams, Io and Rhea or Charlotte and Alexa, one of those two teams will not be a team by Mania. I'm not convinced by it.
Well, definitely Charlotte. Charlotte's staying a face. Bliss is turning heel.
Yeah, I got a question for you guys. Gunther, do you guys feel with Gunther and AJ happening at the Rumble, I have a funny feeling that it's going to be Gunther versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, because Gunther's been on doing these interviews saying that he wants a match with Lesnar at some point, and it was going to happen until, obviously stuff got in the way of it. But now they have the opportunity, if they want to do Gunther versus Brock Lesnar, if they want to, WrestleMania. Do you guys see that being the case?
I mean, that's pretty much the only place you can really go.
Yeah, I think if you're not doing the world title for Gunther, I think the match.
Yeah. I mean, I think Gunther and Brock are gonna have I don't think Gunther's winning the Rumble. So here's how I see it playing out. I think either A, Gunther gets eliminated by Brock and he just snaps, and then whatever happens from there goes from there. But I definitely think that's the match for Gunther at WrestleMania, and it makes sense. And hopefully, I don't know what's going to happen with Brock because there's rumors about him retiring. Do they run it back again at SummerSlam? I don't think they should. If there's one place I think they should do it, it's at WrestleMania this year, and it makes sense to do it there. I think it makes sense to pull it off there. Another match that I could see happening this year at WrestleMania is Dominic losing the Intercontinental title to Finn Balor, because WRKD Wrestling put out a tweet with a because they had some good sources. They had a tweet with a picture of Finn Balor and Dominic Mysterio on it. So I think Finn's gonna take the title off of Dominic Mysterio at some point.
Well, the Dominic Balor thing is about 2 years late. That should have happened. It should have happened. The breakup should have happened after WrestleMania of last year when
It should have, yeah. Yeah, but Triple H is about the long game process. But I'm just going based on what I see and stuff. But they got to get that I don't know how Dominic is going to be like when it comes back, but I think Dominic got hurt probably at the wrong time, because now there are just some people on that roster on Raw and SmackDown, not everybody, but there are just some people who are getting hot. And I think Dominic might be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Don't you feel that way, Brendan?
No, he's not in the wrong. He's not in the wrong place at the wrong time. He hurt his shoulder. He's out for a month. He's still being featured on AAA as a heel, so I don't think he's losing anything. You know, and
Okay.
And that video package was good as hell.
What do you guys think? If Jericho's going to be in the Rumble, do you guys think, like, I don't know how Jericho's going to be used moving forward. I have a feeling this is going to be his final contract, and it should be. Who do you think Jericho feuds with at WrestleMania? I think it's going to be LA Knight.
Or tag him up with LA Knight.
Could be. I think Jericho's a better heel than he is a babyface, to be honest with you.
But for the return, you got to come back as a face.
Yeah, I know. I think Jericho's. I would just bring him in as a heel, honestly. I get they'll probably bring him as a face, but Jericho clicks more as a heel than a face, honestly.
you don't need to establish him as one or the other at the Rumble, because it's a Rumble match. And then you have it. You could establish what he's going to be. His following appearance. So.
Yeah. I'm just really curious, like, he's probably going to come back with do you think he's coming back, Brandon, with Judas or break the walls down?
We discussed this a few weeks ago when we thought he was coming back for Raw. You have to initially come back with break the walls down, because that's what everyone knows him for. You could also transition it, from break the walls down into Judas, the way they did for Cardona. So there's many,
Yeah. It makes sense.
I think this transition because that way you get both.
It's probably his final contract in pro wrestling, don't you think, Brendan? It's got to be his final deal. I mean, the dude's 55. I think it's going to be his final run, don't you think?
Yeah, it should be. Probably leading to next year and then Hall of Fame.
Yeah, you think it's a year contract though?
I honestly have no idea I have no idea what he worked out. I don't think he'll be done with the company despite being done in the ring. So
he might be a behind the scenes role or something like that.
But DeeJay, what are you got anything else?
No, I'm all good.
Well, I think we're going to wrap up a little early today. Wasn't that much of a news week this week. But just want to remind everyone, go to either mine or DJ's Twitter pages. We have our link tree there for all our socials. And we'll be back next Sunday for the post-Rumble show.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. Might be a lot for me to bitch about. A lot more, at least.
I can imagine.
But what fun would it be if you weren't bitching?
I know, right? But yeah, I'll see you guys next week. I hope everyone has a good one and everyone stays safe in this weather.
Yeah, stay
And
out of the snow.
make sure to tell your loved ones you love them.